How's it going, ladies and Bruces? I'm Bobby6Killer and welcome back to Tyranny. Now in this episode we hope to actually get something done, and I think we need to make camp to get this wound off of her. So we're going to rest now to try and get that wound off. I should have done that off camera, but I don't want to waste anything. I think we've looted everything. Oh, hang on. I don't think we have looted everything there is to loot. I'm just going to loot everything. Fuck it. What do we got? I am Lucia. This is Marcus, the disfavored soldier points to the armoured man next to her, and you must be the fate binder. From under her helmet you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you'd need a place to rest, we can make necessary preparations. Oh, I could have done that here? Do you always stand at ease in the presence of a higher officer? No, sir. Marcus straightens his back in short order and regards you with trepidation. Is this... Lucia also adjusts her posture, if slower than her companion. I wasn't briefed on the chain of command. Do we report to the Fatebinder now? I heard Iron Marshal say that Tunon's agents can intercede if there's a dispute. That sounds pretty authoritative to me. I'm not so proud that I won't strike a pose, if only to keep up appearances. That hardly satisfies my question, so I'll take the answer as kind of. So be it. Hail, Fatebinder. Hey, they do training. I could use some training? Of course, Fatebinder. Marcus pounds his fist on his armor in salute. What is he training? One-handed, two-handed, parry. Nice. Might as well do that, right? I'll train two-handed. It's 18. That's not too bad. Let's pour it all into two-handed. And for her... one-handed's cheap. Yeah, that'll do. That sounds pretty gravy to me. Now, I think there's a tent we need to go to talk to the higher-ups here. Is it this one?
Can't do that.
Must be this one. The Archons await you inside, Fatebinder. Oh, I think I leveled up. Well, we'll do that in a moment then. We definitely do with the extra herb. Yesterday you chid me for wishing to wait, now you suggest an even longer delay?
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where the neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I'm here to proclaim Kairos' edict. The valley was sealed in preparation for this moment. Governor Sixkiller, long have we been honoured by your iron, now we are honoured by your presence. I must apologise for my lords. Tempers run high of late. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've travelled long to be here.
Stormcaller, it is an honor to have you with us. I would imagine you are here with another of Kairos' edicts. Perhaps another catastrophe that will punish our foes for hiding behind their walls? My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Nurat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, What sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
Let's see. We'll just go with number 1, I think. The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. Its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. Whoa!
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time, so we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful.
I second the fate binder. Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
The Archon of Secrets turns his head to the side, until the face of his mask is turned around, and a new facet of the mask presents itself facing forward. When next the Archon speaks, the trembling voice of a younger man can be heard.
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here. Help me, please.
The Archon turns his head far to the side, until the previous facet of his mask now looks forward.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mittani, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
Then enough talking, there's work to be done. My lord, Barrack and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the Disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
Careful who you're talking to, lady. The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and the two depart.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region, otherwise the Oathbreakers will attack our heels once we cross the Mittani. I would be honoured to help. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I'll be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you're ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out if you must. Can we talk to Graven Ash? The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models splayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you. Furrows his brow and turns back to his contemplation. The missive said the Stormcaller was coming. Seems I was a fool to think you'd bring an edict that would pulverize and punish the Oathbreakers. I'll leave you be. Yes, you do that. I have much to contemplate. Okay, so we have this many days. 8 days to get this done. Alright, let's go. Things are progressing. Oh, we should use that already. The, Graven Ash, he's pretty badass, isn't he? I like him. He's pretty badass. What do we got? With each level you can increase one of your character's attributes. Each of these attributes provide benefits to your character as well as increases one or more skills. Increasing an attribute costs 1 point until it reaches 19. To raise an attribute from 19 to 20 costs 2. That's cool. I might just put it into attack for now. Save. And what else we got here? We got a talent point as well. 6 categories of talents available to your character: leadership, defense, power, agility, ranged, and magic. With each level you gain 1 point to purchase a talent from any of these categories. Within a talent tree, each tier of talents unlocks based on how many talent points have been spent within that tree. To learn a talent, select its icon, then click save. Yep, and each companion has their own talent tree. And seeing that all of ours is already in power, and we've got 2 points to spend by the look of it. Oh no, it's how many I've spent. I've got 1, I've spent 2. I see. What do we got? Two-handed mastery, can we get that? Oh, we can. Increase weapon damage with two-handed melee weapons and allow basic attacks to strike multiple times. We'll have that. Why the fuck would we not have that? Alright. So, we gotta speak with Fifth Eye at the Scarlet Chorus camp. We gotta speak with Iron Marshal Erinos in the Disfavored camp. So that's here somewhere. We will have a training ground, she said. Hang on, who the fuck are you two? Have I talked to you guys? Who are you? Fatebinder 6 Killer, am I right? I'm Sevius, Commander in 3rd Generation Disfavored. Specifically, I'm Sevius the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. The rank says Commander, but lately, I'm just organising patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to the Iron Marshal if you have something official that he's discussing. What is it you need? Tell me about yourself. Disfavored Favor 1. Not much to tell. My father was Sevius the Elder. His father was Sevius the first of his name. Lead drill master of Ashen's first Iron Guard, back when they were the Bronze Guard. I was born into the Legion, and with any hope, I'll die in the Legion. The rest we'll hopefully hear about when storytellers immortalize me. Bronze Guard? Well, his day and age was a century ago. And they didn't have Kairos' modern luxuries like iron, so back then, the great general's inner council was known as the Bronze Guard. You should be proud of your pedigree. Thanks, but I try not to think about it too fondly. If anything, every time I screw something up, I wish I wasn't dragging the family name through the mud along with me. Harsh. I overheard you asking that Earthshaker where the reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spell slingers to help break this stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and it worries me. Where's your dignity, Northman? The Iron Legion doesn't need spellcasters. He snaps to a salute. You do me proud. And would that I could agree with you, with a full heart. But I can't ignore that mages are a critical asset of war. Grit and determination can shatter the most stubborn fortification, but mages get the job done in half the time. I can lend a hand. Could you? I knew that Tunon's agent wouldn't fail us in a time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Farewell. Alright, let's see what else. There must be other stuff we can do here.
Can't.
What about this folly? I'm talking to you, aren't I? Don't just coddle the impact. Push back with your shield. Take the momentum. Iron Marshal Erenus, field commander of the Disfavored, pounds their fists in the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. Stormcaller, welcome to our camp. The Disfavored officer snaps to a salute. I'm sorry your arrival isn't for better reasons, but it's a pleasure to see you all the same. It's reassuring to see Tunon send us a Fatebinder with the proper moral compass. It was mentioned you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo Hall and Littletooth, crossing the Vendrian Guard. I may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-pronged attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kairos' edict should we fail. I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. The Disfavored need my help? Trying to pour salt on my pride? We left Fort Resolution with 100 on 100, and there have been no reinforcements or reserves. I keep throwing warriors back into battle before they're properly rested, so yes, I need to rely on all our allies, especially since most of our allies are conscripted tiersmen. Worse than useless. If the Disfavored didn't take every opportunity to insult the Scarlet Chorus, perhaps you'd find our help more forthcoming. Shut your snout, filthy mongrel. I won't suffer childish japes in my camp. You speak out of turn and offend our host. Apologize. You want me to do what? She glares at you, but something in her expression reflects doubt. Fine, I should have kept my big mouth shut. I will assist. Then our plan just might work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes from you to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunon the Adjudicator selects only the most capable minds for the court, and I trust you will honour us on the field. Antia will be leading the charge at Echo Hall Crossing. Assisting you will be Barrack of the Stone Shields. She points to a heavily armoured soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Forge-bound weren't slosh on Dappleseed when they fitted his armour. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and this armour doesn't exactly come off. Tactically it's quite brilliant, but otherwise it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Erenus signals to the hulking presence, Barrack, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier that steps up to you better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armour fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatments keep him flexible.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
Staying out of trouble?
I wasn't sure you would recognize me, Binder.
A familiar voice emerges from the unfamiliar wall of walking iron. For a moment you recall the features of Barrack of the Stone Shields, when he wore the traditional Disfavored uniform during the Stalwart campaign, though he looks much changed.
And no, not staying out of trouble, just solving it. I take it you're with us for Echo Call?
Barrack wraps his gauntlet against the twisted bands of iron that form his breastplate.
Barrack, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
Just a minute, you two know each other?
No. Oh, that is to say, yes. I'm already as familiar with this ironclad halfwit as I care to be.
She regards Barrack with a mixed look.
We don't have time to trade jabs today, Verse. After the siege, you can throw as many tantrums as you please. I suggest that we remain focused on the mission.
No offense to the mission, but seeing you looking like a garbage heap and reeking of a mass grave is more amusing by far. Did you forget how to don your armor, or did Graven Ash leave you out in the rain?
Barrick sighs, a frustrated growl shaking his iron enclosure of a suit. I encountered Barrick in a stalwart campaign. Though he appears much changed, he's an excellent soldier.
You're generous to say so. I'm afraid I left the better part of myself on the killing fields of Stalwart. But it's still in my pride and honor to serve the Legion.
His voice falters. You can't tell if it's hesitation or regret that stalls him. The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help, and more importantly, if my worries come true and the chorus tries to impede the mission, we'll have an observer from the court on our side.
I look forward to working with you again, especially after our time in Stalwart. You defended our honor to the Scarlet Chorus, and a friend of the Legion never goes unthanked. Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
He nods at you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Barrick accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Barrick, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hand on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You are to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you. Which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? Barrick regards the Iron Marshal in oppressive silence. That's an order, Barrick. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He can be as stubborn as pulling Spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I'm honoured to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. Excellent, I look forward to your success on the field. Alright, we got a new person. That's pretty wicked. Alright, let's grab everyone.
On it. On it.
Now, there must be other stuff to do here, surely. We'll check our character slots. There's no level ups, is there? Okay, Barrick's got a point to spend already. What does he use? Can I look at his inventory? Okay, so he can't change his equipment. He's a one-handed sword. And shield. Okay, sword and board, so he's a tank. He looks like a fucking tank. That's cool. That's cool. So maybe vitality might be in order with him? Yeah, let's slap on into vitality for him. He can be our frontline man. And Barrick has a talent. So what do we got? Punisher and Sentinel. So Sentinel's shielding? Challenging enemies to attack Barrick. Okay, yeah, we'll take Sentinel. To really fulfill that tanking role. Alright, we'll check those in a minute. Oh, we got lots and lots of boosties on Disfavored now. That's pretty sweet. We got a new skill. Stand together, stand tall. Passive. That's nice. Alright, so what are our missions at the moment? We need the Forgebound Iron. Go to the Northern Clearing to search for Earthshaker reinforcements. Take the Outer Valley and the Battle of Echo Call Crossing. I suppose we should do the Earthshaker reinforcements first? To the Northern Clearing to search for Earthshaker reinforcements. Is that in here or is that a different map? I assume that's a different map. Alright. Maybe we can have a look this way. Let's just have a quick squiz around the map. Just to see we're not missing anything. I'm not sure if there's more stuff to do in the camp. There probably is. I don't know. What do we got here? A humble grave lies before you. A battered sword has been used as a marker. The initial B deeply engraved in the iron.
For Ash's fallen son, Brennix. Even the Archons have suffered losses during the war. Some more than others.
So is this the way to the Northern Clearing? Northern Clearing's over there. Fuck, that's ages away. That's only 2 hours. Echo Call Crossing's 5 hours. That's 10 hours away. Alright, if we're done here, I'm not sure if we are done here, but if we're done here, then I suppose we should move on to the Scarlet Camp next, since it's 2 hours away. And pick up some missions there, and we'll do stuff in order. Obviously we don't want to waste time if we're on a clear time constraint. I know we're pretty geared up, we're looking pretty solid, I think. Pretty solid. I don't think there's anyone else to talk to specifically. Did we loot everything? We've got no way to break into that, that's fine. There's nothing over here. Alright, well it looks like we're finally, after like 2 episodes, moving on to the next camp. Works for me. I hope I'm not missing too much here, but I don't want to hang around in one place too long, otherwise this series is going to go on forever, isn't it? Let's go to the Scarlet Chorus camp. 2 hours. Ambush! Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian Guard. You can go no further until you deal with them. Very well. Shouldn't be a problem now, should it? We got some fancy new gear that we haven't had a chance to try out yet. Who the fuck are you?
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from the top a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peeks out from under her loose-fitting traveller's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line, flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian Guard regalia. The woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff, pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. Run while you can.
You would violate a truce held under the blue flag? If you wish to bring shame to Tunon's court and build sympathy for our cause, then let your temper swell.
She raises an eyebrow, a calm smirk crests on her cheeks.
Stay your hand. I'd love to slice her open too, but if word gets out that you drew bronze under a blue flag, you'll be useless to Tunon. And let's be smart. She's a mage. You don't want to start something without numbers on your side.
Verse grips your shoulder, pressing down with a clenching grasp. Point taken.
We can always kill her later. For now, let's listen and avoid a fight that will leave us limping home.
Verse casts you a stern gaze, but nods slowly as she takes her hand off your shoulder.
I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and today I speak on behalf of the Vendrian Guard.
I advise caution, Fatebinder. Only thing more dangerous than a tearsman is an educated one.
Metal articulations groan as he tries to subtly move his hand towards his blade. There's a blue flag, I expect you will honor it.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos' way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Tarkus Deimos is dead.
I see. That is as I feared, but thank you for telling me all the same. I prefer closure to wishful thinking. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Another dead oathbreaker. Whomever you will ask about next, I assure you nothing can be done.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
We're through. Leave while you still can.
Then I will take no more of your time. Apologies. We will depart at once.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours. Before turning to leave, a moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. Motherfuckers. Try and mess with me. I'm a bit nervous about mages. I've never dealt... Well, we haven't dealt with many things. We haven't really fought anyone yet. Mage would be pretty scary. Let's just carry on to the Scarlet Chorus camp, which will be a perfect place to end this episode. Very far. We finally made progress to the next area. It looks like we're picking up missions and, you know, optimizing our gear and that sort of thing at the moment. That's pretty much all we're accomplishing right now. But I'm sure the action will start soon enough. The guard places her hand on her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point is chorus territory, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You're sure you're in the right place? I'm always in the right place. The guard tenses up, locking eyes with you. That walking hunk of rust. What's he, she, maybe it, doing here? Stepping close, push her down. Before she can draw her blade, you advance, placing your foot behind hers and giving her a stiff shove on the shoulder. Caught off balance, she tumbles backwards, triggering an outburst of laughter in the other guard. I can't believe you sassed the Fatebinder, you're such a stupid ponce. Didn't I tell you we had a special guest coming? The guard waves you in with a smile. Come on in, and don't let the ninny shitters in camp give you any gruff. Nice. Anyway, I was ending this episode, so we're going to end this episode here at the Scarlet Chorus camp, and next time we will explore it and talk to everyone and see what's happening. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.